that stream health is excellent. Load up. So. It says it's running, but I don't see my yeah, it's going good. For some reason, I can't see the I can't see the Hey, there it is. Cool, it's working.
You know what? I think I'm gonna run into this building.
Run into that building. You do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. All right. Well, hello, everybody. We're doing our first podcast. It's called the Respawn Room Podcast. So we just got quite a few questions topics we're going to be discussing. And I'm here with John, also known as BeardedGiant. Myself, Jay, known as Polarcrest, and then Biggie Cheese. Actually, Jordan, known as Dupe 313. Actually, I'll be honest, I don't even know what Biggie Cheese is. I got to look this up now.
Neither do I.
You don't?
No. Mr. Boombastic? Am I going to play this and just get kicked?
I wouldn't. It's a copyright.
Is that all it is? He sings?
Yeah, dude, he's the rapper in Back of the Barnyard.
Well, because you don't have a cam, because you're too damn cheap to buy one or lazy ass, but you get to be Biggie Cheese today. I'm telling you, man, get a cam. Once you buy your cam, the world opens up to you. All of a sudden, you find yourself using it. You'll be on OnlyFans before you know it. So,
Posting some desktop videos.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that's how I make my money.
I'm sure there's some dude out there that would pay to see your feet. Maybe not your feet. Well, I don't know. They're into some, how thick.
Feet Finder is pretty lucrative, isn't it?
What is?
Feet Finder.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me look this up. Feet Finder. This is not a good way to start a podcast about gaming, but whatever.
No.
Oh yeah, it is. Feet Finder. Buy, sell feet pics. Hell yeah. Yep. I'm gonna go sell some pics. Yeah, so we're not here to talk about feet. We're here to bring up some different questions, just kind of current events in the gaming world, and then some other BS just to chit chat about gaming related. Today it's all about games, but I expect occasion it'll be about movies or anime or just whatever nerdy crap. John and I are big D&D guys, so we'll probably I'm sure we'll talk about D&D. Hell, we'll probably one day, we've been talking about doing it for a decade about streaming our sessions, but
yeah,
maybe one day. If we play online, like through Discord and whatnot, we'll definitely stream those. Just harder in person, So anything to say before we begin?
Nope. Excited for this community that we're going to create and Discord to come.
Right? Oh yeah, Discord is. None of us know how to make anything on it, so we'll figure that out. So who's gonna want to go first?
Why don't you pose the first question and then we'll go.
All right. Well, the first question. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can see this. Probably not. I just gotta click this button and it should appear at the bottom of the screen. It so didn't appear on the screen. Come on. Why didn't it appear? I had this all planned out and it was gonna be so cool and fancy, and I don't have the.
Welcome to episode 1, trial run.
my little banner. All right. Well, that's. I wonder why it didn't appear. It's weird. Well, the first question is not the one that I clicked on, so let me get rid of that. Since tomorrow, honestly, what should be the game of the year is getting shut down. But Highguard is getting shut down as of tomorrow. So we wanted to talk about, why do you believe Highguard ultimately failed? And who wants to be the brave one to go first on this one?
I think the reason why it failed is multiple reasons. The timing of it was like unannounced. They announced it during the game show, and they said that, oh, it's coming in 2 months, right? And then they ended up dropping it in between Arc Raiders, Marathon, and other games that are huge.
Yeah, right.
I think that's kind of what uh, ultimately, and then their marketing was terrible. They'd had nothing leading up
And
to the
nothing.
fact of the release, nothing on Twitter, nothing on anything.
Mm-hmm.
They just said, here's the game. And then you just rode around on ponies and horses. Like gameplay wasn't great. So it's kind of reasons why I think that it failed. And ultimately, like, you're going to try to tear away a player group that is so addicted to Arc Raiders right now. And in my opinion,
Yeah, right. Hey, I realized why the title didn't appear is because my video was like 3 minutes behind. So my cool little title popped up. Yeah, actually, just to go off what you said real quick, like, I think a lot of people blame how it was announced, like the Game Awards, and I will admit, like me, because you were with us, John, or no? Were you with us that
Mhm.
night?
yeah.
He
I
was
think you
there.
joined like halfway through. Like all of us were all like waiting and watching, and all of us are like, "The hell is this? Like, what is this?"
What is this?
Like, honestly, looking at like, so Divinity 3, right? They were putting all these pictures out. They were showing everything about this game, keeping it hidden. Like this was the big game, and everybody was talking about Diablo and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, they show that trailer, and it is amazing. And it's Divinity 3, which I'm crazy excited about because I liked the older Divinities. I like Baldur's Gate 3. I love how dark it is, and Divinity's always been a little bit lighter. So I'm really excited to see. Yeah,
See,
but
I've
like,
never played Divinity, and that trailer had me hyped.
oh
That was
yeah,
sick.
it's
Like, it was such a cool trailer.
I think with what they learned on BG3, it's going to be crazy. But like, that should have been the final game. The hype would have been insane. That room would have erupted. But instead, we got Highguard, which is like, yay, another looter or hero shooter, yay. But I guess here I wrote some stuff down. Yeah,
I
I'll go.
think Jeff Keighley's to blame slightly.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, I don't think they did any help. I think the game would have died either way. It just
I think it would have taken a lot more time for it to die, though.
might have, yeah.
If he
But
didn't hype it up that much and say it's going to revolutionize first-person shooters forever.
did he say that?
Yeah, he said it's truly going to revolutionize
God.
first-person shooters.
No, no. Well, here, how about I read what I got? Because I wrote out a little thing here. So here we go. Battleborn, Lawbreakers, Gigantic, Crucible, Rumbleverse, Concord, Paladins, Rogue Company, Bleeding Edge, and a bunch more, right? The market is completely saturated with this type of game, the hero shooters or these arena shooters. And each one follows the exact same playstyle, the exact same game model. A lot of them even have the same freaking graphics. They have the same battle passes. It's all these awful skins. But none of them do anything truly different. They all play it very safe within this little bubble. And whether they're free to play or they're paid, they all follow that live service model. They charge insane prices for skin. Like, I like to watch the channel Angry Joe, and one of his running jokes is he'll scream and he'll be like, $20 for blue? For freaking blue? And like, it's true. Like, you'll go to a cash shop and literally for a blue gun, a blue skin, it'll be like $20. That's absolutely insane. But in my opinion, what's happened, and this is a little bit more of a deeper dive, but ever since Fortnite and PUBG, but especially Fortnite, all these gaming companies are chasing that crazy level of success. Like Fortnite makes upwards of like $3 to $5 billion a year. So every company is trying to make the next Fortnite. Um, and to them it's worth spending hundreds of millions of dollars to make it. So like Concord cost the company Sony like $300 million. I'm sure Highguard cost 100 to $200 million, stuff like this. I think Sony had reported that they had 8 live service games that they were coming out with, and several have already been canceled. This includes God of War, Last of Us, all these different titles, and they're spending
I'm gonna
upwards.
jump in there
Yeah.
too to kind of add to that too. You know, I think the other fact is they didn't give their player base the chance for it to thrive either,
Mm-mm.
because they're just saying, "Oh, player base is down. We're gonna shut it down." You know, this could have thrived because people are gonna try new games once the hype of the new game comes. You know,
Right.
like Thursday, the new Call of Duty comes out. That's gonna be shit, just like every other one of them, right?
Mhm.
And people are going to want to try something new. That's when Highguard could have swooped in and done another marketing pitch or
Maybe.
kind of, you know, try to get a new player base in to come and
Yeah.
say, hey, try this new IP.
Well, and they
And
did go
especially
silent.
because they did 100%. But, you know, not to like bring up streamers or, you know, like the Burnt Peanut said it the best. Like, if we're going to keep complaining about new games, we're going to get stuck with Call of Duty 47. We're going to get
Yeah. I
stuck with, you know, these same old games. Like,
see. I don't
we
know
need to
if I agree with that though. Like,
we need to keep trying new IPs though, because or else they're
mhm.
going to fail.
We'll see, and that's kind of like what my third paragraph here talks about, which is like a lot of companies are just a lot of companies are racing towards a certain type of game, and more so a certain type of monetization system. They care about money. So all they care about is making, like, hey, here's the monetization system. The CEO comes up and says, hey, this is what we want to do because this makes the most money. Now all you devs, make a game that's built around this that we can make. Look, Fortnite, make that. And then you take a bunch of devs who do not care about this IP. They're not devs making a game they want to make. They know how to make. That was what happened to what's the other, was it Bungie or BioWare? Anthem, right?
Mhm.
This is a legendary game company that makes single player experiences that are amazing. And they're like, yeah, go ahead and make a live service game. And they're like, well, we don't, our engine doesn't do that. We don't do that. We make single player games. Like, we don't care. We want money. And the problem is like, you have Marathon and Arc Raiders. Why is Arc Raiders doing so damn well? Well, it's because the developers actually care about the game they make. They're making a game they want to make. Whereas Marathon, it's a bunch of devs that are being told what to make. And when monetization's your main thing, it fails. But here, and then the last thing, and then we'll go on to Biggie Cheese here. I think the main reason that Highguard failed, and it's this simple, it wasn't that fun. And it's fine to try new games, but it wasn't fun. That it just wasn't. It was a bland ass map, massive. You ride around on your damn horse, you never see anybody, you die, you get respawn, and you have to run across this giant map again. It didn't feel like John, you're a Warcraft guy, right?
Yep.
You ever do Alterac Valley?
Mm-hmm.
40 versus 40, and you're
Right.
taking points and you're pushing back and forth. You have these, you clash on that bridge, and it's amazing. That's what I actually thought this might be, and I was kind of excited. And then it's 3v3. The hell is this? There was never an epic fight ever. So that's ultimately, it just wasn't fun. It just wasn't. So like, even Call of Duty can be fun. This wasn't. But that's all I got. Jordan, what do you got?
Again, blame Jeff Keighley.
It's all Jeff's fault. Fuck you, Jeff.
It was, man, dude. That's like wasn't like, I guess, not false advertisement, but I mean to sit there and, dim the lights, get
Mm-hmm.
everyone, scooted in, sitting forward in their seats, and then hitting us with something like that, something that like we've seen before. Like, I don't know, man. Something like that. I mean, first impressions are everything. And if you're gonna advertise a game like that, man, that's a quick way to turn your community against you, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with
And
you.
And I think, you know, the whimsical part of it too kind of threw everybody off, you know, like the magic and like all of this, you
Magic
know,
science.
yeah, exactly. Like there wasn't like a theme behind it, you know,
Let me look something.
telling them that it's going to be a 3v3 power gaming shooter, you know, high intensity. It was more or less like, look at this cool graphics and look at, you know, it's going to revolutionize gaming. I don't think it really captured amount of people during that Game Awards, like you were saying,
Well, like here,
Jordan.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
drag.
and like what sucked too is like that whole trailer. We all had no idea what that game was. Like,
Oh
True,
yeah,
very
and
true.
like I feel like if you're coming out with a game like that, something that quote unquote is gonna revolutionize the shooter genre, at least make us understand what we're getting into. I mean,
Yeah, here
I don't know.
I'm gonna pull something up. Just another issue is like what John was saying. So a theme was like it was like this fantasy but magical like land, and then you have guns that look like AK-47s and just like revolvers like
yeah.
45s, and it's like the guns you're sitting there going around with just like regular shotguns, and it's like when you play Halo, granted, yes, when you're playing as like you know the Spartans and whatever else, you're fighting with weapons that might come from Earth, you know. But then when you're fighting with the alien weapons or whatever, you're fighting with like alien tech. This is magic and science, and we're fighting with guns you would find on Earth, basically. Like they felt really
That's a good
generic.
point.
Like, let me go to this asset pack and buy that and just import these guns. But all the heroes were generic. All their abilities were generic. The way they looked was generic. That dude looked like Ken from Street Fighter. Like he really does. It is just awful. But Jordan, I think
Yeah,
like I think with like what the way it was revealed, and then like the developers never talked about it. You know, they never there was no gameplay about it. There was just silence. Their Twitter or X or whatever, just nothing. So after Jeff put that thing out and hyped it up, and supposedly he put it up there for free. Like they didn't even charge him money, so he supported this.
and you
Yeah,
know,
which
I
is
think would be like a good idea with for games going forward. Diablo does a really good job about this, is having like campfires for games. You know, this could be a really good learning opportunity for games going forward with it being having campfires. You know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a big announcement like this, have a, like say, you know, join us tomorrow for a campfire to go over our game and hype it up, you know, like you don't have to have some serious marketing money to have people buy in for your game. Arc Raiders is a prime example of it.
Hmm.
There was very little marketing that went into it. But you could have campfires and then they could
Yeah.
have, you know, shown the game off a little more and gave it a little bit better of opportunity, because I do agree. I think it sucks that a game like this, even though it doesn't like fit my genre of gaming, that it's going to close down and affect a lot of game developers.
But like it's not even the developers. Like there's a difference between, and this is why like our last topic I want to talk about, like there is a big difference between us three making a game. If we made a game, let's say we all know how to code properly, we would make a game that we all make it want to play, something that we think is extremely fun, you know. But what happens is it's these board of directors that come down on the developers and say, hey, make this. And the developers, well, and it's not even that, it's they piece it together. They'll have 20 different studios. If you ever look like a game booting up, you'll see all these different studios listed, because this studio will do the environments, this one will do the whatever, the particle physics and whatever else, and then they just shove it together. And like it truly is just like you have AI slop. This is game slop. It's just like a puppy mill. You know, this is a gaming mill. It's just getting, and you know, games are just being stamped out, generic as hell, and that's exactly what
yeah.
this was. So, and yes, I think Jordan nailed, like that was the nail in the coffin. Like right when the game was announced, that was like, oh, that's it. So that did not do it
Yeah, I
any
mean, they
favors.
literally everyone turned on him at that point.
But
It was
let me look.
everyone just they saw that and they were like, "Yep, we hope this game fails." Like,
Yeah. Well, as it should, in my opinion. So, but here's the thing, though: 100,000 people played this game. That was the highest concurrent users. So that means it drew in millions of players, millions of people that played this game, and millions of people decided this game is not fun. Even if a game is hated, right? If people talk crap about it, like Call of Duty, everybody talks crap about it. I talk crap about it. It still is one of the most successful game franchises, right? If the game is fun, it's not going to matter what Asmongold says or what Burnt Peanut says or whatever anybody says. People will play it because it's freaking fun. That's it. And that's a good reference of this is Minecraft. When Minecraft first was coming out, people were talking so much shit about it because that was the time when graphics meant more than anything. Everybody cared about graphics. And then Minecraft came out and people were like, oh, I'm not going to play it. The graphics are crap. This is a stupid game. And then it became this multi-billion-dollar, property because it's an incredibly fun game. So fun that people couldn't deny how amazing it was. So Highguard, it wasn't fun. It was a terrible game. It was. I played it. It was bad. It wasn't fun. The gunplay sucked. It was an empty world. Made no sense how you have to go out and mine these crystals to maybe buy an upgrade or a gun, but then you go find a chest and you get a better gun. So why the hell were you mining? You only have like a minute to mine. The funnest part is when you fight over the sword, and even it's 3 people. So once you kill 3, it was terrible. Terrible. Anything else on this topic?
No, I think Highguard got enough attention as it is.
Yeah, well, pour one out for Highguard. It dies tomorrow.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
On a side note, I don't remember what game it was. Maybe it was. I don't think it was. There was a game. I don't think maybe No, it wasn't Battleborn. It was like a hero shooter MOBA type game. Came out. I played it. Wasn't that bad, but it failed. They shut it down. The studio then sold it to somebody else. They kind of rebranded it, re-released it with improvements, and then within like a month they got shut down. So it's possible Highguard could come back. It's just doubtful.
I don't think it will.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't either. I think
It doesn't make much sense for a company to bring a game back for the.
Well, it's kind of like
people.
what's that game called? It's the Minecraft clone that just came out, Hytale.
Hytale.
That game, the guy was making it, sold it to Riot. Riot made more. They decided to scrap it, and then they sold it back, and then he released it, and it made him ridiculous amounts of money. So it's possible to resurrect it. All right, next one. What is the future of Arc Raiders? What will happen with the balance of the game with resetting and gaining stat points, bag space, and just what's the overall future of the game? How about we start with Jordan here, Mr. Dupe?
I think if they do not do a full wipe, like they do in Tarkov, make everyone reset, I think that game has a good year left into it. I don't think it'll ever die, but I think in like a year's time, like they're not gonna pull numbers like they are now. No way.
Hundreds of thousands.
Cause I took a couple months off that game. I've been playing other games, and it's like there's people out there that have 10 extra skill points on me. Like they have just that slight advantage over me, and I feel like in a year's time, what is there 6 expeditions a year, every 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like next year, like if I don't start, doing these expeditions now, yeah, next year it'll just be unplayable. I'll be fighting people with heavy shields that regen stamina quickly or faster than I do, be running around faster than me, have no weight penalties that I have because, I didn't put the time into it.
I kind of agree with that take in a sense, but I really think their downfall is the content that they're putting out, not putting out rather. What was it? Stellamontis was supposed to be that bridge to the new map, and they're like, hey, put all this inventory into it and build it as a community to unlock the next map, and then you got Stellamontis, and that's supposedly drilling a hole to the next map, and then what are we 3 months into it with the new map? It's going to come out in April. but their roadmap is really, really slow. I think they need to really invest in their company because their IP is amazing, but their content is just so slow. And the amount of people that are just gonna just move on to the next thing, you know, with me, with moving on from Arc Raiders, is I found Tarkov for the first time, and it kind of showed me that there's other extraction shooters out there that, you know, could be better, that no one really is playing, right? Or they've perfected it at this point because it's been out for years and years. And I feel like this is kind of where Arc Raiders is going to have to be for some people, is they're going to have to leave and come back because the content is just not there.
Yeah, I feel like as that game has gone on, I don't know, man. Like I kind of just lost all the ambition to do expeditions. Like I don't want to go out and just grab materials and loot and come back and repeat and rinse, like rinse and repeat. Like I don't know. It just doesn't seem appealing to me.
And the items in the game too aren't very rewarding, right?
No, like I don't get excited seeing anything in that game anymore. Like back then, yeah. Like my first time seeing like a bobcat or something, it was like, oh, sick, a bobcat. I can't believe I've never seen this gun. But then another issue they have is you get a bobcat and it sucks. you died of some pistol. It's like the Beretta, a little green
Yeah.
pistols outperforming every purple gun in the game right now. Same with
And
the Venator.
I think the big thing is weapon balancing too. Is like you're saying, like the Beretta is, just as good as some of the other stuff, and it's just like, what green gun is ever gonna outperform a purple gun that's level 4?
Yeah. And then like you get the legendary guns and it's like, yeah, they're cool, but I'm just gonna pull up with my Stitcher 4. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pull up and kill you because you have to charge your gun. So now, since I inconvenienced you with my gray gun, you're gonna have to go out and kill the matriarch again and put in all that work and barely get out of there for someone else to do it to you too. So like all their PvE content now just to me is obsolete. Like I could care less about it. When I play that game, I just want to kill people at this point. Like
Right.
the PvE in that game just to me is non-existent anymore unless you really force your way into it.
Well, and the thing about it too is that the devs say, we did not create this game to be PvP driven, but yet all their talent points and all of their extra
All
stuff
their
is pointing
content right
is
now.
PvP. Yeah. It's
Like
crazy to me.
their first content drop was literally a solo versus squads mode.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't tell me that game is not PvP driven at all. And if you have PvP in a game, it's gonna be PvP driven. Like I hate to break it to you, like there's no, you can't just have optional PvP and say it's not driven by PvP. That's the only thing that's keeping it around. That's like all the streamers and stuff that are playing. That's all they do. They go in for PvP. That's what's entertaining with the game.
Yeah,
That's what's rewarding.
of course.
And I think another thing,
Better dopamine rush from PvP than finding a power rod.
well, and I think another problem is like the arc that they've released too is the same type of arc with a different flavor attached to it, right? And then also, you know, the fact that when you do go out to do PvE stuff, there the consequences of running into the PvP outweigh the PvE benefits. So I think they need to pick a lane and stick to it, or kind of do what Tarkov did and release a PvE server that people want and want to play that version, and you can kind of get best of both worlds.
You got this. Get it? You got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take a little bit different approach. I think Arc Raiders is going to be just fine. It's currently sitting at number 5 on the Steam charts at 157,000. I mean, and it's normally like 4th or 3rd. Like it's always in the top 5, basically. I think it's going to be just fine. I think as long as they do,
I think it'll be fine too. I just
Me
think
too.
that
I mean
I
more
just-
than fine. I think
I
it's
don't
going to
think
be.
they're never gonna hit their peak numbers again. I don't think unless something
No.
huge comes out.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see if they do like seasons, but I think as long as they add maps, game modes, weapons, new enemies. I think if they add 5v5, you know, all sorts of things like that, I think it'll be just fine. It's a good game.
And I think it'll be too. Can I just add one thing to add to yours?
Yeah.
Real quick. They need a money dump like into that game, that studio, whoever. At this point, you know, you need to build a team that has 300-400 people working on it at this point. So
Yeah.
at least, you know, you're hitting those new maps and you're hitting new guns and you're hitting fresh content, new loot spawns, new arc, you know, bigger maps.
I think
You
they
know,
will.
I think
They'll keep growing
that's my
it.
hope.
Yeah, I mean the game, kind of unlike like Highguard, the game is made by people that give a shit. It's made by people who
Yeah.
want this game. They wanted to make this game, and I think they'll keep doing it. They've made so much money with it. I mean, this game's gonna do well. So I think with any like balancing issues, because me and Jordan talked about those a couple weeks ago or last week. I think if players start getting any noticeable advantages, the devs will address it.
Mhm.
Every game that has PvP, like it gets addressed at some point. They'll keep, and I was thinking about Diablo, so John will understand this, but they could create like a legacy side of things where
Yeah.
anyone and everyone can just play in this area. So if you have 20 extra skill points, well, that's what you're playing. Or they could play on the seasonal side where only seasonal characters exist. Instead of doing this, you know, restart and then you go back in the same server, you know, you make seasonal characters and go from there. And there could be kind of like, you know, Diablo where there's new weapons and new maps that maybe only seasonal people really get to experience. But oh, this is something I like. I do think they'll fix it with like any advantage, because that's something I have an issue with like Call of Duty and Battlefield. Is I started, it was like Battlefield 2 or 3, I don't know. And by the time I got in, everybody had all the best stuff. To get better stuff for like the jet, you have to get in the jet and get kills and do stuff. I couldn't, because I'm facing people that are really good at the game that have everything, and I couldn't do anything. I was stuck at basically level 0 and I could never progress. Um, I don't feel like that will happen here, because that really will kill new players. Let's say I just didn't have the money, or I was deployed, or whatever else, had a different job. And you know what? Today I want to start arc raiders, but as I join, people have this massive advantage and it's not fun. They're not going to let it get to that. There's no way. That's all I got on that, really. Oh.
How do you think they would fix some if they didn't go with like a seasonal character? Do you think they would ever do something like a forced wipe? You know, clean slate it every 6 months, maybe.
I think they're gonna have to clean swipe it and then change their expedition.
I think they'll either do that or they will mimic what Diablo did. They will do something. This is a new game still. You know, it's not early access, I don't think, but it's still a new
Yeah,
game.
they're working out. They're definitely working out the kinks of it.
Yep.
But it's like,
And I don't know
in
if
my
they
opinion, I think the only way for it to work out is, I know a lot of people will complain about it because, you know, there's loot goblins, you know, stash goblins, you know, they
Yeah.
love looking at their little purples and golds. But I don't know. I say 6 months in, do a full reset, make everyone start over,
Yeah.
and then build on from there. You know, and yeah, maybe don't make your expeditions every 2 months. Make them every
No,
6.
I
do
think
2 wipes a year.
expeditions are terrible. I think that was a dumb idea. I think it's really stupid.
Yeah, I don't think they should have done optional expeditions, to be honest. I think
it
if
should
they
be
don't,
forced.
yeah, it absolutely should be forced, because yes, it sucks to lose all your stuff, but it's like,
Well,
it's
do
also
it.
kind of fun at the same time, because you go in there and it's like you got to do stuff that you haven't done in months.
Just do what Diablo does. Make that legacy map where, you know, it gets wild, you know, because you could have some crazy high level stuff and then have seasonal characters. And then once the season is done, that character gets pushed into, all the loot gets pushed into your legacy. And in legacy, hell, you have unlimited storage or something, you know, make it something wild. But like Diablo gives you, like, if you play seasonal characters and stuff, you get special cosmetics and special rewards. Like, it's like, I don't know anybody that plays legacy on Diablo. We all play seasonal. That's the way to
Yeah.
play it. And I think Arc Raiders will will jump on board with that, because what they have now, these expeditions, that's just, it's grindy and it's not fun. It's terrible.
I kind of disagree. I think that expeditions should be a thing, and kind of maybe not even like a forced thing, but I think, I don't know. I think the expedition is kind of what Arc Raiders is, right? Like,
Sure. Well, for more bag
you
space,
know,
how about? But more stat points, that's where it matters. If you give if
yeah, I
it
agree.
gives players an advantage over other people, that's where the problem is. Bag space.
I think there should be a hard wipe with everybody, and then change your expedition to how it works. You know,
Sure.
don't have it point based. You could have it, loop based, where like, this crazy item that, you know, helps you regenerate your shield a little faster, right? Sure, there's gonna be an edge, but like it'll get wiped every 2 months, right? Like
Yeah.
every wipe, it's gonna get wiped.
Well, and that like leaderboards and seasonal stuff, this is way more fun. I think that would be a
Yeah.
better system, because then people would still be motivated to play, and actually to get to these leaderboards, they're gonna have to bring in better stuff to kill certain bosses and whatnot. But I still think
Yeah.
the future of Arc Raiders is just fine. I
Yeah,
think that
so do
game
I.
is. I think people are still going to be playing it a decade from now. Like
I agree.
That
PUBG.
game's set in stone for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the top charts, like PUBG and Rust and Siege and all this stuff. Like, it is. They're all.
It's not going anywhere.
No, I think Arc Raiders is. I think it's staying around. So.
And
All right.
especially if they can get like big servers and get a community base, like, these, bigger than the matriarch, like what are they calling the sentinels or
Mhm.
whatever, the big ones. You go fight those as a community eventually. I think the future's bright with that.
Yeah, they need to do something with those big guys, because it's so hard to kill them with. So, all right, we ready to move on?
Yep.
All right,
Sure.
so let me fill this text and bring up my next one. Oh, that's not centered. Shoot. All right, so the next question, and this is probably hopefully a quick one, because meh. What do you think will happen to Marathon? Do you think it will be a success? Do you think it's kind of already DOA? Do you think it'll just
See
die?
you later.
Slow death. So I think
I don't think it's going to be DOA. I think that Marathon is going to have that niche group. I heard someone talk about it where they're kind of equivalating, the battle royale scene with like, the 3 games that are out right now. Like you have Arc Raiders, that's going to be your Call of Duty. Your Marathon's going to be your PUBG, and then Tarkov is going to be, whatever other one you name it. That's kind of what I feel like it's going to be equivalent to. I don't think it's going to go away just because of the heavy PvP first person looter shooter is kind of going to grab the niche of people. And I think that people really gravitate towards that PvP first person.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And it's backed by a pretty big company as well.
Have either one of you actually played it?
I've played it.
No.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I did the Server Slam. So, I was writing on here. So, as the time of me like writing my kind of speech for this, Marathon has been hovering around 40 to 60K, and I just checked the Steam charts. It's currently sitting at 52, which, I mean, if I could make a game and get 52,000 players, like, that would be awesome, you know? But then I've been playing Slay the Spire 2 this past week as well. And Slay the Spire 2 and Marathon came out at the exact same time. And Slay the Spire has been averaging like 200 to 300 to 400,000 players. And like, the one thing I kind of want to talk about is like with Marathon and Slay the Spire. Marathon currently is not a successful game, whereas Slay the Spire 2 is a very successful game. If every single person quit right now and never played Slay the Spire 2 again, Slay the Spire 2 is successful because it's not a live service game. It's made by a small team. It doesn't have server costs. Once you buy the game, like that's it. They made their millions of dollars. Whereas Marathon, it costs, I've looked up anywhere from 150 million to 300 million to make Marathon. And they have massive teams of 100 devs. They have HR departments. They have janitors for the office, They have server
They
costs.
probably lost money off of a Marathon.
Well, currently,
Something.
yes. They have not recouped their money. And that's the idea of a live service game is it takes time. You have to build a player base that will buy money, buy cosmetics, for months and months to come to do this. And like I looked up the base end math, they would have had to sell 3.7 million copies just to break even, just on the production
happen
cost.
over time.
Sure, but that's just to break even. They have to make money. That means every player that's on there, the 50,000, would have to spend about $1,500 a month to make them, to keep this game running. 52,000 is a good number, but it's only going to keep going down from there. I think, I don't think it's DOA like Highguard or Concord, but I don't think it's a success. I think it's going to succeed at a very low level for a while, but I think it's going to be a slow death. I see this lasting a year, maybe even 2, but eventually we're going to get that announcement from Bungie saying, "Yeah, it's no go."
They need to rework a lot of things. When I played the Server Slam, my biggest problem was me dying to
Those
AI
robots, they're so strong.
was so strong, and the POIs weren't engaging. It wasn't like something cool when I'd run into it and want to go back to that area.
The whole game looks the same.
Yeah, it feels very vanilla. Like, I don't know how game development works, but I feel like the POIs were just like put in an area and say, "Oh yeah, this is the area you're going to go to." There isn't like something that's drawing you into that area, something new. The pixelation of the game kind of threw me off too, with the
Hard to look
items and
at.
kind of figuring out what items are which, and the names of them kind of threw me off to huge names that are hard to pronounce and remember.
Well, that's the thing, is trying to relearn. Like I took months to learn arc raiders and what items are useful, and I don't want to restart that.
Well, and the pixelation of everything too really threw everything off. Was really, it left a sour taste in my
Yeah, I
mouth
agree to
of
that.
trying to like look at an item and know that item did something. It didn't have like a health on it. It didn't have something explaining it. You had to like hover over it, and it was really tough to kind of get a grasp of what they really were trying to achieve. On the contrary, I've heard a lot of people say that once you get the grasp of what it is, it's super fun.
Well, and
people really like what that game has to offer.
Yeah.
Well, I think they just need to rework it.
And like I have a little bit left here. I'll just finish this off because it plays into that. So to go back to Highguard, I think Highguard was a bad game. It wasn't fun. Marathon, I think it's actually an all right game. I didn't really enjoy my time, but it's not a bad game. It's actually overall probably pretty fun. I think the main problem is that it's just nothing new. We've seen everything about that game. We've already seen it. If you want to play an extraction shooter, go play Tarkov or go play Arc Raiders. There's several options. Marathon, if like it had come out a year ago, I think we'd all be playing Marathon because we didn't have Arc Raiders. And I think it would have been very successful.
That is an excellent take on that,
yeah.
by the way.
But I think in the end, it's just another extraction shooter at this point. It's not new. There's no deep story. There's no character development. It's just go in, loot, shoot, extract. And again, I think it's a fun concept, just like Arc Raiders is fun. I just don't think Marathon needs to exist. It doesn't have a place. I think people are going to play it for a while, and then Arc Raiders is going to be like new season, and everybody's just going to go back. Marathon's a new shiny toy, but it's the same old crap. No one, it's not needed. It's not needed.
And the people that made that game suck.
Yeah, but
I got beef with Bungie, man.
Yeah, Bungie's terrible.
They dropped the bag with Destiny, man. I know, like people say that now to get back into it, but they really dropped the ball with that.
Nope.
Bungie's just going downhill, man.
Well, they're corporate driven.
Fallen so far down.
But see, this is the Bungie starts. I'll let you go again, Jordan. But Bungie started making like their big game Halo. It was a game that was clearly made with passion and love. and then Halo 2 and Halo 3. This is passion and love for the game. And all of a sudden it's like Halo 4 and 5 and it's like Infinite and it's like, what is this crap? And then it's I know 343 and all this other stuff, but then it's Destiny, and this is not a game made with love. This is a game made around monetization. You can see it's now corporate driven, and
I think it was made with love at first,
Yeah.
but then when the first DLC came out,
Yeah.
that's when like a lot of people opened their eyes and they're like, okay.
Jordan, I
Well,
have a question
bugs.
for you. So
Yes.
you've played Arc Raiders, you played Tarkov, right? And I don't know if you played Marathon at all, but um, the one thing that keeps drawing you back to Tarkov is the challenge of things, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think the challenge of the enemies that you go against, I think the challenge of having to actually like the searching for stuff, like in Arc Raiders, you upgrade your benches and Scrappy and you're done. You don't need to look for another item for the rest of the game. In Tarkov though, like you gotta keep building, you gotta keep upgrading your stuff. I mean, just the advantages you get, being able to recover your scav quickly or, gain a certain amount of food and water per hour, just, being idle. Like I feel like that stuff is so rewarding. And like I just love it because it's like tiny increments of your upgrades. It's like I upgraded my water filtering station. Now I get 1.11 more water, or I get 0.11 more water per hour. It's like, let's go, dude.
Right. And I think that's where Arc Raiders is going to go. Exactly what Jordan was saying. I think that they wanted to get people on their hands. Not to go back to Arc Raiders, I'm kind of wrapping up Marathon, but I truly think that is where Arc Raiders is going to go because I have recently found Tarkov, and Jordan couldn't have said it best. The risk versus reward is amazing. Your heart is pounding because you found something that is going to increase your room, and you're just like, man, if I don't get this, I'm going to be disappointed in what's happening. Sure, the dopamine in Arc Raiders, it was initially there, but it is not lasting. Tarkov, they have found what that niche is, and I think Arc Raiders will get there. And I think that Marathon tried to do something similar to that with the fact that there had such a robust amount of items in the game afterwards, after the server dump. More, it was only 50% of the items in the server slam compared to the real game. So I think you couldn't have said it best, Jordan.
Yeah.
see, I will say this though. I think you have Tarkov, and Tarkov is extremely successful. Arc Raiders came in, and it's Tarkov-esque, but it's like Tarkov light. It's Tarkov without all the
Oh yeah, I
extreme.
said that right away.
Yeah,
It is like,
and I don't think Arc Raiders. I think they'll take the good things about Tarkov and work on that, but they're not going to become Tarkov. There's no way. That's not what people
I'm
playing
not saying
Arc
that they're going to
Raiders.
become.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they're going to become Tarkov, but you need to have something where, like Jordan said, you're upgrading these benches with no rewards, right? There isn't something like within Tarkov where, you can find these items, like find your toothpaste and find your thing and put them inside your bench, and then they're going to accumulate throughout time and they're going to create something bigger and better, right?
yeah.
They need to have a workbench. Like, you're going to go in there, you're going to add these two items together, and they're going to create something through time.
Sure. I think both games are going to be doing pretty well over time. But screw Marathon. I think, like, again,
I
Marathon.
don't think I think games like Marathon will just never match the dopamine that like I've had in Arc Raiders or in Tarkov.
Well, Marathon's
Like in Arc
also
Raiders.
very PvP centric. Like, that's what you do in Marathon. You don't make friends. You
Yeah,
shoot.
but it's like in an extraction shooter like that, like just getting a good item. I mean, at first I had that feeling in Arc Raiders where I would get something cool and like my heart would race and it's like, dude, we
Mhm.
got to get out of here. I'm gonna play and play my hardest. I'm gonna give it my all to get this item out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But like that feeling is gone. Like I like the only game, back to Tarkov again. But it's like you get a good item in that game.
It
You
is.
get a good gun. I mean,
Oh,
your
so
heart
good.
rate accelerates, dude. You're shaking. You're literally like you're playing like you're in the military almost. Like
It
you're
is.
you're really dialed in, man. Like it is such a good feeling. It
It's the
sucks
first
at the
game I've
time,
ever.
but
It's the first
I just
game
don't
I've
think
ever.
Marathon will hit that.
Sorry, Jordan, to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I think it's the first game I've ever played where I've had to deafen my friends on Discord because I need to lock in.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I just
All
don't
right.
think
think
we
games
should.
like Marathon will hit that. I just don't.
No, I don't
I
think
think
so.
we should wrap this up with the last question.
Well, we
Jay.
got 2 more.
2 more.
So, well, the next one, and I have a couple answers, but as many as you have, feel free to discuss them. But the next topic is basically, and this way we can have a dog scratching at the door. Oh God, he's breaking in. You want to come discuss, Ronan? What game do you wish was more popular and well known? So, all right. So the topic is, what game do you wish was more popular or well known? I have 4, so I'll start off with one, and then we'll go from there. Maybe I won't say them all. But one of my top ones is actually Dread Hunger. Might even be my top choice. I loved that game. I think I put 700 hours into it, and it wasn't even hard to do. It was just, I mean, that game caused a special kind of rage, but it was pretty damn amazing. I did, John, did you ever play it?
I never have.
Have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
So think of Among Us, but for adults. Like you're on a ship and you have to get from point A to point B, sailing through like this Arctic, dodging icebergs. You have to blow up this big iceberg at the end to get through, and if you have 3 days to do it, and you have to eat, the cold is always a problem, so you have to keep warm. You have to go on the shore to find coal and wood and kill animals to get food. But out of the 8 people, 2 of them are thralls, and they are trying to undermine this by damaging the ship, poisoning the food, all sorts of things. I loved this game, but because of mismanagement through the developers, and I'm not trying to be political or racist or anything, but this game got traction in China, and we started getting a flood of Chinese players, which is great for the game because more players the better. But unfortunately, they didn't region lock it, and basically you couldn't start. You start a room, and all these Asian people would start joining. They didn't speak English. There's no way of typing to each other. It's a social game. You have to chat, and people stop playing. And then they released this monetization system, and it just rubbed people the wrong way with all the other problems. It's like, hey, buy this mustache for your character for $2. So it still exists on like private servers, but it's not the same. So that's mine. I wish that game would have been much bigger and lasted. But go ahead.
I'll go next. Mine's not currently active or available to play, but I think one game that I think they need to bring back is SOCOM.
Yeah,
That
SOCOM.
game was, I
It was
know it
fun.
might be like a nostalgic thing from my childhood, but I think that game would thrive nowadays with how Arc Raiders is the third person shooter. That game with, extracting terrorists versus,
Did you have the
the United
headset where you
States.
could talk to your
Oh, yeah.
team?
Yep. And clans and PvP battles. I truly think, that game could thrive in a market nowadays with shooters. And
Sure.
that was one game I wish that they would bring back through modern technology. I
Yeah.
just loved it.
Jordan, what do you got?
For games that I wish were more popular.
Popular, well known, or maybe it would make a comeback if they were canceled.
No, man. I think probably Hunt, dude.
Isn't Hunt pretty
Should,
crazy popular?
Not really, dude. It only has about. I mean, it's like 10,000 people right now, but I wish like there was just a newer community.
Hmm.
You know, not the people that have been playing this game since day one. I feel like
Yeah.
that kind of set things back. Like you'll never load into that game and run into anyone new. It'd be
Yeah,
cool if they could
new life breathed
draw
into
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. There's a lot of games I think they're so old. They're still going and have a player base, but it's just the same. Like one on my list, and I won't talk about it much, is Town of Salem. I love this game. That's another game where I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into, way more than I should have. And it still has a community, but not a good community. You know, it's not people that really play the game seriously anymore. Uh, it's I'm watching like 3 Blue Jays outside just like fighting each other. It's kind of amazing, actually. But yeah, that's so I can understand new life being breathed in the game. I have another one though. Dungeon Defenders. Jordan's played this game with me, and I still play it from time to time, but that is a dead game. There is nobody playing that thing. It used to be you join in, you could find massive rooms of people. There's communities of trading different gear and sharing strategies how to beat certain maps. But you go in there, it's dead, and the only people around are people that are playing the game for a couple weeks and then they bolt. So it's and then the developers keep trying to. They've made Dungeon Defenders 2. They've made a thing called Dungeon Defender Remix, which was like a reboot of their original or additions to it. Then they tried doing a Unreal Engine remake of their game. They're trying to boot this up. They've released 2 spin-off games, and it just isn't catching at all. I really wish it was. I love that game. So, John, you got any more?
Not really.
Oh.
I'm kind of just like all in on Tarkov right now, so I'm not really. I mean, when I'm watching TV shows on my computer, I'll play Hearthstone, but I mean that's other than that. I mean,
I've been doing Magic. I haven't touched Hearthstone in a bit. Jordan, you got any others?
Battlefront 2.
What? That game's doing just fine.
Storm Battlefront 2?
Is it not?
I think that is doing pretty well right now.
Oh God, no!
I
It's doing
wish-
terrible. It's got
Yeah, there's 1,300 people on it. That game's
dead.
I thought people were going back to it.
Yeah, I thought so
just a couple
too.
Months ago. You know what? I
man.
hope. I just pray to God that Knights of the Old Republic game
Oh,
that's
it
coming
looks.
out.
I'm excited.
Oh, and then Fable's coming out autumn of this year.
We'll have to talk about that in another podcast. I'm very skeptical.
I know we're running out of time, but like between those 2 games and then the new Divinity game,
yeah,
like we need these games to succeed because they are going to be so good.
yeah,
Maybe this
they
is
have,
a
yeah.
preview for the podcast to come, but like
It definitely is.
oh,
I mean, that's the thing is like I always want to be able to talk about current events, but there's going to be some side stuff for sure. Fable is something we'll have to talk about because I've played all the Fable games, and it's a very, I don't know, it's a hate-love thing. So, and I had one more written down. I just want to mention it. It's Dota Underlords. It was like an auto chess battler game based on Dota. I love that game, and it was doing so well, and then developers made this big update, and it killed the game. From one single update, it just wiped the game. The player base went away because they unbalanced everything and ruined it, and it died. It's just completely dead. And it was probably like I've tried getting into the League of Legends version of it. And
the Teamfight Titans.
yeah, tactics or whatever. Yeah, I haven't been able to. It's not the same. Dota Underlords was rough and wasn't beautiful. It's just a rough, straightforward game, but I really enjoyed it. So, but yeah, if we have nothing else, let's move on to the last topic. So, all right. So, this one is something I kind of thought about because I was having a discussion with other people. Is what makes a Concord, with quotations, level game a Concord level game? And this means So everybody's saying if a game comes out and fails, oh, it's Concord 3, it's Concord 4. And I started getting the kind of the idea of like, what is a Concord level game? So like Highguard, and we talked a little bit of this before we started. Highguard, I would agree, is a Concord 2, you know? It had a budget that was millions and millions of dollars. It got pushed as this new big exciting game from all these legendary devs, and then within a few weeks it failed. And this will cause the studio to shut down, developers to get fired, it could cause investigations, all sorts of stuff. So that what I would say is a Concord level game. Whereas where this conversation started is I was playing the Last Flag demo, and people were calling this Concord 3 or Concord 4. And that's like, well, it is a hero shooter to an extent, for sure. But like, it's not failing. I think it's doing fine for what it is. But even if it did fail, I don't consider this kind of game a Concord level game. It's made by a very small studio. It cost thousands of dollars rather than hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, if it fails, that's who gives a shit. It's barely even a studio. It's not. It shouldn't give what Concord is. It's a developer that is run by non-gamers. It's ran by old white men sitting around a wooden table trying to figure out what's going to make the most money, and they spend hundreds of millions of dollars. Last Flag was made by a studio that wanted to make a game that they wanted to make. That they thought this would be fun. Want to know a fun little tidbit of info while I was researching Last Flag, by the way? This is pretty funny. It's made by Night Street Games. You ever heard of that developer?
Nope.
Have you ever heard of Dan Reynolds or Mac Reynolds? You might know him, John. No? Dan Reynolds, it was founded by Dan Reynolds and his brother Mac Reynolds. And Dan Reynolds and Mac are the guys from Imagine Dragons. Dan Reynolds is the lead singer, and Mac Reynolds is
Nice.
the manager or whatever.
That's
So,
interesting.
and that's the thing. It's like you got these guys who spent their own money to hire a couple devs to make a game they thought would be fun. That's not the same as, you know, the corruption that's going on in Bungie and Sony and Activision.
But another thing, you know, like speaking of corruption, you know, we talked about this a little before starting this. Is what was it? Ashes of Creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like all the intentions to be the next WoW killer, right?
Yeah.
That they were going to put all this money into it and to have it be something great. And I mean, all things, I was hyped about it. And then out of nowhere, they said, well, we're going to go to pre-alpha and get on Steam. And then word started getting out. This is going to be a rug pull.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is that a
Concord level game?
Is it right?
I don't know, actually.
And I mean, now Steam is holding all the funds for that game,
as they should,
as you know, because of it's being a rug pull.
Yeah. So
I think it is a Concord level game, you know.
Yeah.
And then we talk about other things like No Man's Sky, right? Was that a Concord level game?
Could have been. Almost.
Could have been. You know, that I mean,
actually, I'm going to push back on that
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
I think
feel like
Go ahead.
A Concord game, like the base of it it's driven by cash.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not. I feel like that's like the main.
Yeah.
Concord.
No Man's Sky was built on passion. These guys wanted to build a game,
passion,
but they overestimated what their abilities were.
Yeah, they kind of built it on like an empty promise.
Yeah, they overpromised and underdelivered. But they weren't doing it to make money. They were doing it to make. Granted, making money is always important. They got to make money, but they were doing it because it was a passion project. They wanted to explore the universe in the game.
You couldn't go in and be like, oh, I'm gonna spend $20 for a blue ship.
That was but that was a high. I mean, that game was a full priced game, right? Had full potential, hyped it up like no other during the Game Awards.
They did,
correct? And they didn't deliver, just like all these other games.
Yeah,
right?
But I think it's the sentiment behind it.
They got lucky that it got revitalized. It got picked up by Microsoft, and then
See, I'll disagree again.
And then
It wasn't luck, it was passion. They stuck it out and
I
kept.
think it was luck.
Even to this day, over 10 years later, they're still releasing free updates. It is incredible what they have done. Whereas like Concord, or like they're like, "Ooh, shit, it's not making money." Well, let's not keep updating it. Let's just shut it down and move on. And so did Highguard. It's like, hey, maybe there is potential for this game. Maybe if you guys keep updating it, it'll be something. But there's no passion, there's no love. It's, hey, did this make money? No, shut it down. Move on to the next. Take these developers, put them on the next one. And
What about Starfield?
Starfield could be considered a.
What do you think, Jordan?
I would say Concord-esque. So.
What about
there's-
Starfield, Jordan?
I think Starfield was just a glitch in the Matrix, man.
I mean, they're dropping content soon, supposedly, but like,
Yeah,
I would say-
I think live
I think,
service has
yeah.
to be involved to be Concord. It has to be someone that's. It has to be people
I
that
know.
are non-gamers that are forcing out a game for the sole purpose of making money, and they don't have passion for what they're making. Starfield, I think they had
the
passion.
issue with Starfield, I feel like that game was
It's
just
bad.
dude, it almost seemed like a cry for help, man. Like
Kinda.
it's like hey, we need to make 100 million real. It was a cash grab, you know. It was
The reason why I'm sitting on the reason why I'm sitting on a PC right now is Starfield.
That sucks.
Man,
I mean,
that must have been the
as
most
sad
sad
as it is-
experience when you.
Hey, at
loaded
least
that
it got
game.
you into the PC Master Race. If
It
that's what it
It
took.
did. But I mean, the thing is that, you know, like, I love space and I love ships and I love, you know, Skyrim, and I love that, you know, that developer company, you know, like, huge. And I was like, this is it. This is the next thing that's going to be amazing.
I thought
And
so
you
too.
saw the vision. You saw the vision there, right? But then greed kicked in. You could tell that it got pushed too soon. It
Yeah.
wasn't ready.
Well, that's the cyberpunk, you know.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
But see, that's where I think Starfield is. It's not a Concord game. It's a cyberpunk game. It's a
That's true.
No Man's Sky game. Is there a future for Starfield? Maybe, actually. If they were to develop it over the next 10 years, it could be something crazy good. I don't think they will. I think Bethesda, the execs will say,
They're gonna move
stop. Yeah, stop. Let's move on to something else. I think what makes a Concord game just a level game is just that corporate side of things, where they just want to make the next Fortnite. They want to make billions of dollars, so they start with monetization, and then they build a game around it. Like, think of these games that come out in early access. And Highguard, oh, we don't have a team of execs. No, but you tried to do what they did. You tried to subvert them, but these games will come out in early access, and the game will be riddled with bugs. It won't have much to it, but damn, it'll have a working cash shop, you know?
Oh, yeah, it'll have the coolest skins ever, but the game's broken.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's
I swear they design the skins before they make the game, man. I swear.
well, that monetization before gameplay. So, and that's where I think it just depends. I think that's what makes a Concord game a Concord game, and I think that needs to, like, there needs to be different designations. You know, like, oh no, this is a cyberpunk type game. That way we understand why it failed. To say Last Flag is a Concord game, no, Concord failed because of greed and the wrong message. If Last Flag fails, it's because it's just a small studio and the game just didn't take, you know? If I release a game and it fails, not a Concord 6, you know, it just wasn't fun, maybe. It just didn't find the base.
But if you come out with a game where you can spend $600 on skins and then it fails, then there you go.
Yeah, when it's just about monetization.
If you have a riddled mess, but oh boy, you got some cool skins in there, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's bad. So, okay. Well, I think that'll kind of do it for this one. I think we had some good topics there. I think what we got
Bungie
planned.
sucks.
Huh?
No,
What'd you say?
Bungie sucks.
Oh yeah.
But-
Let's see. Bungie sucks. Marathon sucks. Concord sucks. Our creator sucks. Everything sucks. Games suck.
Everyone buy Tarkov.
Yeah, right. No, play Slay the Spire 2, man. I've been playing the hell out of that game. It's been crazy fun. I think There's some issues with it being kind of too much like the first one, but it's good. But I do got the questions. You know, I won't say them now, but I do got the questions. What we're gonna do next week. I think it'll be a lot lighter because I think this one's just 3 dudes bitching about video games. But I think the next one will be
Hey,
a little bit more
that
fun.
might be people's. That might be people's. You know,
right?
maybe they like it.
We're just Reddit
But
come to
here's the
life.
thing, you know, like
Maybe
we're gonna
there's a
create a
bunch of
community.
people out there.
We're
Oh,
gonna
go
create a
ahead, sorry.
community with this, and you know, drop questions in the comments, you know, that you want to hear in our next podcast.
The first question is for John. Are those toys in the background yours, or do you have children? Because if you don't have children, I'm gonna call
I do have children.
the FBI on
We
you.
do. There's children. Here.
Question number 2: do you guys like Escape from Tarkov?
Wouldn't know. But no, there's some good questions.
Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on this YouTube channel.
TikTok. Yes, definitely follow. I'm gonna upload those on my main channel, but then I'm gonna create a side channel as well to have these on and start building it there.
Discord to come.
Yep, come on Discord. Yeah, the next week's questions will be a lot. Dude, hold on. I just learned about a game the other day. This is hilarious. You play as a sperm cell, and it's a racing game. And you want to be the first sperm cell to reach the egg, right? So you have to like squirm your way through. It's called Become, like BECOME, but become. You know, become. Dude, it's amazing. Yeah, either way, next week's questions, unless they change a little bit, unless some crazy gaming stuff happens, much more chill and fun and just kind of exploring different gaming desires.
My coworker, last thing to wrap this up, speaking of kids, there's this game called Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator.
Concord-Like right there.
Concord-Like.
God.
All right.
Okay, well that's it. And then we'll see everybody on the next one, and thanks for watching. Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye. Wave to the camera, Jordan. Next week, Jordan's gonna have a camera instead of a fat rat.
Biggie Cheese will not stand for this disrespect.
He can barely stand. Look at him. Well, at least I can look.
Yeah,
at him.
why?
He's super fat.
It's a memorial. My Discord's a memorial of him. He died.
All right, stop.